Here are my 3 biggest takeaways from this past weekend's Community Grand Prix of Valencia. Number 1, just when you think it can't get worse for Pecco, unfortunately it does. I was pretty optimistic about Pecco's chances to end the season on a high note prior to Portimao, but the racing gods can be cruel at the worst of times, and it seems like they had no intention of letting Pecco's forgettable 2025 be anything but that right up until the end. A rider known in the paddock and amongst the media as a friendly and easygoing personality, the 2-time MotoGP champion was visibly upset and understandably at his breaking point after being run off the track by Johan Zarco in the first lap of the Grand Prix on Sunday, forcing him to retire. A sad end to the season where, prior to its start, the prospect of a championship fight between the Ducati riders was on Pecco's and everybody else's mind. But issues with the GP25, which still aren't abundantly clear, have plagued Pecco's confidence all season and seemingly sabotage any chance at a 3rd championship right from the start. Meanwhile, we fans, and I'm sure Ducati, are left wondering, what if? Number 2, has everyone forgotten about Jorge Martin? That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but after retiring from the race on Sunday in a pre-planned move by Aprilia to preserve their number 1 rider for the offseason, I feel like a lot of people have been guilty at times of leaving Jorge out of their serious title discussions for 2026. Now granted, this year could quite literally not have been worse for the 2024 world champion, missing the first 3 races of the year. Still upset I missed him in Austin. After a crash in preseason testing and much of the rest of the year after his horror crash in Qatar, but with Aprilia's recent assertion as potentially the fastest bike on the grid going into off-season testing, and Jorge seeming more happy with the team after some initial tensions, don't leave the possibility of a Martinator versus Marquez title fight off the table. Number 3, Liberty's effort to F1ify MotoGP. Now this one isn't necessarily a takeaway from just this race, as it's been happening to increasing degrees since the Liberty-Dorna merger was finalized. But I'm sure many of you longtime fans haven't been able to help but notice now the concerted effort during session broadcasts now to place emphasis on riders' MotoGP World Championships, not referring to Moto2 and Moto3 World Championships as World Championships at all now. For example, referring to Mark as a 7-time champion instead of a 9-time champion. Liberty has stated this is to increase the prestige of the top class, while many say all it does is diminish the prestige of the lower classes. And I'm inclined to agree. The fans know what the top class is. And I worry this is the first decision in a long line of decisions that will make Moto2 and Moto3 look increasingly like Formula 2 and Formula 3, and less like an actual feeder series to the top class. I hope I'm wrong though. Bonus takeaway, Frankie Morbidelli is an anarchist. First of all, I'm glad that Elias and Frankie, other than his hand, are okay. But between crashing on the starting grid and the wild overtakes he attempts every week, Mr. Morbidelli is anarchy personified. And I kind of love him for it. He can definitely go over the line at times. Okay, all the time. But you can't deny he's entertaining. Thanks for watching. My name is John Boy. This is John Boy GP. Subscribe for more MotoGP related content, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.